How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another week and another Destiny 2 video, where today we're going to take a look at the Grandmaster Insight Terminus Nightfall. Now, I don't have the list of modifiers for the video because I completely forgot to grab them and struggled finding them, so tomorrow, when it's reset and Insight Terminus becomes available, I will get the list of modifiers down in the description for everybody to look at. If you like the video, leave a like. Comment if you'd like to see anything with this particular format change, and of course subscribe if you want to see the other Nightfall guides that I'm going to be putting out over the next couple of weeks. And with that, we're just going to get straight into this guide. Now, when you land, you're going to get on your Sparrow and head towards the actual entrance to this particular strike. There's going to be a harpy or two, maybe three. You're going to ignore them, and you're just going to go into that little opening where the strike actually begins. If you see a public event banner in this area, please do not go for it, because if you do, odds are you're going to die and your team isn't going to be able to get you, and you're going to be going back to orbit, and that's just going to ruin the whole first run attempt, whatever you guys are trying to do. Now, upon getting in here, you're going to be met with a little cave type area and a few Vex enemies that you're going to have to take care of. They're really easy. They're just red bars. Take care of them and move on through the tunnel. Once you actually get through this little tunnel, you're going to be met with a barrier champion immediately. Take care of him and the void shielded minotaur that's just kind of hanging out in the back behind him. You know, pretty easy to take care of. It's just one. Champs are really easy to take care of if you can single them out. You're going to push up a little bit into this cave. Once you defeat that first barrier champion, and on your left-hand side is going to immediately be another barrier champion. This room has 3 of them, and I'll show you where the last one is towards the end of this room. But take care of this barrier champion and the group of adds that will be probably somewhere behind him to the left. You're going to see them in the video, probably frozen. You're going to take care of them, another Void Shield Minotaur, and then you're going to move on to the next barrier champion in this particular room. Now, that final barrier champion is going to be up in this top left-hand corner where I just threw a stasis turret, and you're just going to, deal with him, deal with these red bar adds. Shouldn't be a problem. Again, barrier champions are very easy if you can single them out, and quite frankly, they're probably one of the easiest champions to deal with because they're not overload champions, and overload champions suck. Now, upon defeating this barrier champion, there's going to be a hallway behind you that you're going to want to walk down to move on to the next area of this particular strike. In the hallway, there's going to be a handful of red bar adds, be it Cabal or Vex, and you're just going to take them out. They're red bars. I don't really need to explain how to kill them and take them out. Now, upon entering this big cavernous room, there's going to be a group of Cabal directly in front of you. Take them out, as they are going to be really annoying for the rest of this room. It makes it easier for you to push up to deal with the other side of the room where the bigger challenges are. On the other side of this room, there are sniper scions, there are more legionaries, and there is a barrier Colossus. Now, the barrier Colossus should be your priority here as well. Quite frankly, they hurt a lot, and he will kill you. So, take care of him however you want. Take care of the adds in any which way you deem necessary, or just kill the champion and forget the adds. It's completely up to you, but general rule in Grandmasters is everything dies. So, do what you will with this room. Just make sure you take care of that barrier champion and move on to the plate section of this Nightfall. Upon entering this particular plate room, the boss is going to be here. All you need to do is walk up to him and he'll go away. He'll leave you alone. But when you start capturing the plate, a bunch of adds are going to start pouring out of the portal in front of you. Gladiators, war beasts, take care of them. Grenades work really good here. We use stasis turrets and a quiver to get rid of them. And then towards the end of the plate, when it's captured, you're going to have 2 unstoppable champions spawn out on you. All you need to do is just take them out real quick. Pretty simple. Once they're done, you're going to move through the portal and move on to the next area in the strike, which for some people can be very challenging to do. Once you get into this room, you're going to see a set of pillars in front of you. You're going to want to hover around this area for a majority of this room, as it's going to be very helpful. If you have any type of roaming super you can use to take care of adds, I recommend popping it, using it, getting rid of some of these adds, because there are a lot of adds in this room when you spawn, when you get in here, and there's only more that is going to spawn. They got portals on the right and left hand sides of this room, and they're just going to keep pouring out every time you make an advancement in this room, whether that be killing a champion, depositing a charge, Whatever it is, it's going to cause more ads to spawn. Now, once you beat the first set of ads in a barrier champion, a Cabal, Unstoppable, Incinerator, whatever they are, is going to spawn in the middle in a Cabal drop pod, and this is what you have to kill to get your arc charge you have to bring to the other side of the room. Now, when you pick this up, you're going to, like I said earlier, try to bring it to the other side of the room. Now, on the other side of the room, you're going to have to deal with another barrier champion over on the right-hand side of this particular area, and a bunch of gladiators. I think it's actually like 2, but still, they hurt and they're chunky. But either way, you're going to have a bunch of gladiators on the left, and you're going to have a Cabal barrier champion on the right-hand side. You're going to have to deal with these, so this way you can safely deposit the core, and then go back to the other side of the room, and begin dealing with the other set of ads that are about to spawn. Now, when you deposit the core, I like to stick to the left-hand side of the room and work my way back up to those first set of pillars we were standing behind at the beginning of this room, because they offer probably the most cover in this room. Now, there's going to be a bunch of red bar ads, and I believe it's 2 or 3 champions. I believe it's 2 barrier champions and 1 unstoppable, if I remember correctly. You're going to want to take all of these out, and the unstoppable champion is going to drop you your arc charge again. Do whatever you need to do. Throw grenades, pop supers, do not be afraid to use your supers. Take care of all these champions and get your next arc charge to drop. Now, when you get your arc charge, you're going to have to repeat that same process you just did and bring it to the other side of the room. Except now, there's going to be 2 barrier champions waiting for you. One of them likes to sit in the middle, in the front of the stairs that you can walk up, and the other one likes to sit directly in front of where you have to deposit this particular arc charge. Take care of the one in the middle first, as this way you can move around to the right side and take out the second one a lot easier, so this way you can deposit that core and move on into the boss arena area. Now, to get down to this arena, you're going to do a few jumps, deal with a bunch of headless goblins and whatnot. Do not break your ankles on those jumps. Now, upon entering the arena, there's going to be a bunch of Vex down there on the platform. You can choose to shoot at them. You really don't need to, because Kargan's just going to kill them. But it's fun to see how many points you can get. Nice little game you can have with your friends. Now, whether you get down there normally or you are pulled, you're going to have to capture a plate that is going to be in front of you, in front of this pillar that I just got stuck on. There are going to be ads coming out of all 3 portals here. One in the middle, one on the left, and one on the right. While you capture this plate, they are going to spawn pretty much infinitely. But once you capture the plate, you can then now damage the boss. The best way to do this is to get back behind that pillar that, you saw me get caught on, and just sit here and pick at the ads and then pick at the boss until he reaches his half health mark. Once he reaches halfway, he's going to go back up in his little Vex shield, and now you have to capture all 3 plates. One on the left, one in the middle, and one on the right. Now, there are 2 ways you can go about doing this. The first way is the quick way, and that is being able to capture all 3 plates at once. With the loadouts we used, which I'm sure you could have guessed by now, this was very, very easy for us. We just sat on the plates, popped supers, and did all that good stuff. It was very easy to take care of all of that and get it done quickly. Now, if you're not using this particular setup or you're not comfortable capturing your own plate, you may have to do it the second way, which is the longer but somewhat more safer way, and that is to capture each plate one at a time with your team. Now, it's going to take longer, but as a team, it is a lot easier to deal with the ads that are going to be spawning on you out of the portals in front of you. Once you have all 3 plates captured, you go back to that pillar in the middle in the back of the room, and you just start damaging the boss and dealing with the ads. All you need to do here is worry about killing the boss. This here is the very end of the strike. Just kill the boss, get it done, and then see that glorious, glorious loot pile up on the right-hand side of your screen. And that is it. The strike is now done, and you can add that to your list on your Conqueror seal as completed. Now, as far as loadouts are concerned, you can realistically use whatever you're comfortable with. I use Shadebinder Warlock with Osmiomancy gloves. I also use a new purpose pulse rifle with well-rounded and headstone to feed back into my stasis aspects and fragments, as well as a threaded needle in my heavy slot. I also brought a Void Scout rifle to deal with Unstoppables and the Void Shield, and as did my entire team. My other teammate ran Night Stalker Hunter with the Mobius Quiver Super. They ran Lingering Dread Grenade Launcher with Blinding Grenades, which was a very, very helpful addition to this entire setup. And they ran the Truth Rocket Launcher as a little bit of a test, and honestly, it did pretty well, considering this has acute Void Burn, and Truth has 3 rockets in the tube. You know, it was actually a pretty good option. Another option you could use is Deathbringer, even though it gets memed on all the time. It's not a bad choice here. And finally, my last teammate also ran Osmiomancy Shadebinder Warlock, and they ran Arbalist and they ran Threaded Needle, so they could just run one ammo finder and get all the ammo they could need. That is the end of this particular guide, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was insightful, and I hope that with this guide, you can get your own clear and your own DFA hand cannon when it rotates into the weekly Nightfall this coming Tuesday. With that, I hope everybody has a great week.